After escaping from an insane asylum, Deadpool kills the Fantastic Four and listens to the voices in his head, which tell him to kill the Watcher, so he does by using Mr. Fantastic's cosmic taser before decapitating him. Deadpool goes on to kill Ghost Rider, Doctor Doom, and Howard the Duck before moving on to his next victim, Spider-Man. They fight and Deadpool eventually sneaks a gun to blow his brains all over the place. These murders caught the eye of the Avengers, and they discuss how to take Deadpool out. Suddenly, Iron Man gets word that Hank Pym is missing. It's revealed that Deadpool used Pym particles to enlarge an army's worth of bombs and detonates them in the Avengers Tower, killing every single one of them. The only two who survived were Luke Cage and Thor, but Deadpool placed tiny bombs in Luke's coffee, and he dies. Thor challenges Deadpool, so he uses Pym particles to enlarge Mjolnir as it returns to Thor, crushing him to death in the process. Deadpool walks away until he is suddenly ripped in half by an enraged Hulk. Hulk walks away and climbs into a cave to nap. When he transforms to Banner, Deadpool returns and cuts his head off. Eventually, all the loved ones of the fallen heroes gather up to pay an assassin to finally stop and kill Deadpool, and that person is Taskmaster. Deadpool then shifts his focus to the X-Men. He ties Professor X down in a chair and shows him footage of the rest of the X-Men who are in the same warehouse as them. The X-Men frantically search for Xavier until Deadpool somehow suffocates Cyclops, making him laser up and kill everyone in the process. Wade makes Professor X watch as the rest of the X-Men are murdered, but Xavier has had enough and attempts to shut Deadpool's brain down. However, he comes to the sad realization that they're all fictional characters, and he suffers from brain death. Wade looks at the footage, and we see Magneto being killed by jellified acid and Kitty Pryde trapped in a mirror maze. The Wolverine finally arrives to stop Deadpool once and for all. He walks into a room and sees his offspring, X-23 and Daken, both being tortured by flamethrowers which light them up every time they regenerate. This enrages Logan, and he charges at Deadpool, who's wearing a fur of the deceased beast and wielding carbonadium blade which can disable healing factors. He uses the sword to impale Logan before cutting his head off. Many heroes and villains would participate in a mass unaliving pact, preferring the escape of death over Deadpool's inevitable wrath. The Punisher eventually assassinates Deadpool and approaches his corpse before realizing it's Puppet Master. The real Deadpool appears behind Frank and kills him. Deadpool then goes on to kill Thanos, Galactus, and Silver Surfer. Taskmaster finally tracks down Deadpool, and they engage in a fierce fight. However, Man-Thing helps Deadpool kill Taskmaster and sacrifices himself to open a portal for Wade. He enters and ends up in our universe. He finds himself in Marvel headquarters where the writers of this exact comic book are writing this. He looks straight at us and says, "Once I destroy this universe, it'll find you."